But a couple more fights before I let you go, Bob. Have you finalized? Is it true that you finalized Haney, Devin Haney, George Kambosos 2 for October 16th at Rod Laver Stadium in Australia, as Dan Rayfield reported?
That's not true. That is, but we're working on finalizing it, and we're the big element is the government contribution. We wouldn't do it in a big 50,000 seat stadium like we did the first fight, but there's the Rod Laver Stadium in Melbourne that has 20,000 seats. But it's a work in progress, and I think everybody is working hard to make it happen for mid-October. I think it'd be, it'll still be a Sunday, Saturday in the United States. We put a number of championship fights on the card with it, and send it back to ESPN in the United States. And of course, it would be on pay-per-view in Australia. Again, they're not doing badly on pay-per-view in Australia, but look at the price.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the price.
What is it?
It's around 20. Well, remember the Australian dollars 70 cents US. So it's probably under $20.
Wow. You would make a lot of people happy here, Bob, with $25 pay-per-views. I got to say that. We know that.
Well, that's wonderful. But again, will the numbers then justify the revenue that has to be taken in to pay the freight? It's all well and good to say, hey, let's make it cheaper and so forth. But unlike prior decades, where promoters made considerable money from pay-per-view, like we did with Manny Pacquiao fights, which PBC did with Mayweather fights, which for a while Canelo fights. I don't know if it's there anymore. I really don't. I mean, Canelo's fight with Bivol did around 300,000, which is a disaster.
It's a fascinating subject, Bob, and one we're certainly going to be watching moving forward. A couple of your big guys, anything in the works for these guys? Josh Taylor and
Taylor is happily married now, and
I saw that. Very nice.
Is on a honeymoon, and we have scheduled him in the end of November in the UK to do a rematch, I think, with Catterall. That's what we hope to put on, because Taylor is really hurt with people saying that he really didn't win that fight or didn't look good, and he wants a redo on that fight, and we want to accommodate him.
By the way, are you convinced that the Jose Ramirez fight is going to happen?
Yeah, I'm convinced that it will happen. But again, Cupid plays its role. Jose was visiting me at my house in LA about a week ago, and said that he doesn't want any tune-up fights. He wants to go into the Zepeda fight, but he's getting married.
I'm sorry, yeah.
And he wants to take a honeymoon and so forth. So we're probably looking at that fight maybe at the end of February, beginning of March. And in meanwhile, we'll keep Zepeda busy with a tune-up fight in Mexico.
Okay, great. Yes, I misspoke on that name. Forgive me. And Artur Beterbiev obviously has three of the 175-pound belts. We know that it looks like Dmitry Bivol is going to be taking a mandatory against Zurdo Ramirez, or at least he's obligated to. Is Beterbiev just going to wait for the winner of that fight, or what is he going to do next?
No, Beterbiev, we're talking to Beterbiev. We have a date at the end of October in the UK against Queensberry's fighter Yard.
Oh, great.
Number one light heavyweight. I think Frank Warren is holding the O2 Arena in London. And Beterbiev's been on vacation. His lawyer's been on vacation. But I think next week we're scheduled to talk with him, and hopefully we'll finalize that fight.